In this video, I'll discuss Q4 FY25 result and Concall of Poonawalla Fincorp. So, Poonawalla Fincorp is an NBFC. Their 36% AUM comes from MSME lending, and then 24% AUM comes from loan against property, and 23% AUM comes from personal and consumer loan. So they have opened two new business segment in the last quarter in Q4 FY25. One is shopkeeper loan, like in our area, local area, there is some grocery stores, stationery stores and all. So the loan will cater to them. They are working capital, like they need some loan for personal reason. So this is for them. Okay. And another one is gold loan. They have launched gold loan in the last quarter, and they are saying that they will open 400 new gold loan branches in the next 1 year. So it is like a very good growth they are seeing in the gold loan segment. Capri Global, if we see Capri Global also, they have ramped up the gold loan segment in the last few years, like 1 year, like 2 years. Okay, so Poonawalla also looking to do that. So that is the business segment Poonawalla have, and they have around 57% AUM in secured business. Secured book, and they have increased their secured book from last few quarters. So that is also not really good. I will explain why it is not really good, but yeah, in the for a long-term growth, that is good for Poonawalla. And then I will discuss the result and Concall part of Poonawalla Fincorp in Q4. So their AUM grew by 42% to 35 crore book. Okay, so yeah, they are looking, they are doing good growth in the last few quarters also. If we see, they are growing consistently above 40% in last few quarters. And if I talk about the segment wise growth, loan against property grew by around 100% year on year. Their business loan have grew by business loan means MSME loan have grew by around 47% year on year. And they have another book in prime personal loan. They launched the book in last August in 2024, and from zero they have done a book of 200 crore till the March March 25. Okay, so in that segment there is also a good amount of growth. Yeah, the base is nothing. So yeah, the book is growing at a good pace if we see, and they are also giving a guidance about 40% of AUM growth in the next few years. Like if I am not wrong, that is they are giving a guidance for 5 years. Next 5 years they will grow their book about 30 to 40%, and they are confident that they will overachieve the growth number. Okay, so that is also a good thing. And if we see the short term personal loan also, they have some problem in this segment in the last Q2. So they are saying that management is saying that they have recalibrated the segment of short term personal loan, and they are now again in the growth phase of that book. So that is also a good thing, that because short term personal loan have a higher amount of yield. Okay, so that is a good thing that the management is confident about the segment. So yeah, but yeah, in the Q2 is STPL have given them really bad win that they have done a PAT of minus 66 crore. Okay, so that is the thing, we have to track that business also, that where the business is going. So that is the thing with AUM. And then if I see the revenue growth, that is around 30%. They have done a revenue of 1200 crore in this quarter. But if we see, the AUM grew by around 42%. But if we see the revenue grew by only 30%, less than 30%, to be precise 28%. So why there is the disparity in the growth? Why the AUM grew by 40% but AUM grew by 30%? Because if, as I said earlier, that Poonawalla is trying to increase their secured book. That is why there is the diversion in the growth of AUM and revenue. Because let's understand that, let's say in the first year I am a NBFC. In the first year I have disbursed around 100 crore of loan to a person or a company. Okay, and I charged the person around 20% because it is unsecured. So at the first year, what I will get? I will get a revenue of 20 crore. Okay, in the first year I done a revenue of 20 crore. In the second year I disbursed around 200 crore. Then what I will get at 20%? Around 40% revenue in the second year. But in the third year I disbursed 400 crore of loan at a rate of 10%, because let's say the 400 crore loan is secured loan. Okay, so the yield should be lower. Then if we see, the AUM grew by 100% in last 2 years. First year this was 100 crore. Second year it was 200 crore, and third year it was 400 crore of loan book. Okay, but in the revenue, if we see the revenue, in the first year we done a revenue of 20 crore. In the second year we have done a revenue of 40 crore. So revenue grew by 100%. But in the third year the revenue is 40%. Revenue is 40 crore, because I have disbursed around 400 crore at a rate of 10%. So the revenue is 40 rupees. In the second year also the revenue was 40 rupees. So what is my growth? My growth is 0 in the revenue segment. But if we see the AUM growth, that grew by around 100%, grew by 100% in the third year. So why there is also, if you see, the AUM grew by 100%, but if we see in the third year the AUM grew by 100%, but the revenue grew by 0%. The revenue is flat in the third year. Why? Because I in the last year I have 100% unsecured book, but this year I have 100% secured book. So in this case, if we see, there is also a disparity, because when a NBFC or a bank transform their book from unsecured to secured, their yield come down. Their NIM also come down, and that is why the revenue growth also come down. But in the future, in the long run, the revenue will catch up with the AUM growth, because let's say in this case that I described, in the fourth year I disbursed a revenue of let's say at 100% growth 800 crore at 10%, because it is a secured book. So what I will get around 80 crore revenue. So the revenue growth here in the fourth year is 100%. So in the fourth year the AUM growth is 100% and revenue growth is also 100%, because last year in the third year my whole book was converted to secured, and this year also I have secured book. So that is the thing. So we see one thing, the conversion of unsecured to secured will happen in Poonawalla. The revenue growth will be lower than the AUM growth. That will be the case. Okay, but in the long run the revenue growth will catch up to the AUM growth. That is the thing we have to see in the future. Okay, where the secure book is going. That is the thing, because as a NBFC, as a big NBFC who has a AUM of 35,000 crore, it is not easy to convert the whole book to unsecured to secured. So yeah, that will take time. That if they want their book at 70% secured, so that will take 2 years of time, if I am not wrong. So that is the thing we have to see when the secured unsecured book will settle down. So that is the thing with revenue. Okay, and if we talk about the PAT, they have done a PAT of 62 crore. Last quarter this was around 19 crore, and this quarter they have done a PAT of 62 crore. So definitely the impact of STPL have come down, because in Q2 they have done a PAT of minus 600 crore, and in the Q3 they have done a 19 crore, and in this quarter they have done a 62 crore. So the improvement is there absolutely, but we have to track where the company is going in the future. So that is the thing, and the management is saying that because of the gold loan segment, there was a extra OPEX in the book. That is why the PAT is a little bit more lower than it should be. So yeah, if a company looking for expansion, there will be some expense also, so that we have to bear that. So that is the thing with PAT. Okay, and if we talk about the asset quality, the GNPA number has been stable in this quarter. GNPA number was stable in the Q4 compared to Q3. Last quarter they have a GNPA of 1.84% in Q4, and Q3 they have a GNPA of 1.83%. So yeah, quarter on quarter if we see, GNPA was stable in Q4, and that is the thing. And credit cost, I do not have the exact credit cost number, but yeah, the credit cost was also stable. There was no accelerated write-off in the Q4, and because in the Q3 they had around 520 crore of write-offs in Q3, and in this quarter there was a write-off of 141 crore. So write-off decreased in quarter-on-quarter level. So that is also a good thing, and the management is saying that STPL book will grow, and STPL, we do not have any problem with STPL book anymore. So yeah, that is also a good sign. So that is the thing. We have to track the company, that where the company is going. See, one thing, that AUM growth is good in Poonawalla, but we have to track the secured, unsecured book, because we have to see where the unsecured and unsecured book is going and where it will stabilize, because until it stabilized, the PAT growth will not be there, the revenue growth will not be there. Once they have stabilized the once they stabilize the book in secured, unsecured, then the PAT or revenue growth will be there. So that is the thing. We have to track the business. Investing is a tracking business, if I am not too wrong, that we have to track all the businesses, and then we have to see where the opportunity is lying or not. So that is the thing. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.